I assure you, it is not my intention to paint life any harsher than it is. But some of us are indeed trapped. Witness the predicament of a young governess who cares for and educates the children of a well-to-do family.
I assume.
Oh, yes, madame. Especially Vanya.
Certainly. I knew it. I excelled in mathematics. He gets that from his mother, wouldn't you say?
Oh, yes, madame.
Head up. That's it. Don't be afraid to look people in the eyes, my dear. If you think of yourself as inferior, that's exactly how people will treat you.
Oh, yes, madame.
A quiet young lady, aren't you? Now then, let's settle our accounts. I imagine you must need money, although you never asked me for it yourself. Let's see now. We agreed on 30 rubles a month, did we not?
40 rubles, madame.
No, 30. I made a note of it. I always pay my governesses 30. Who told you 40?
You did, madame. I spoke with no one else concerning money.
Impossible. Maybe you thought you heard 40 when I said 30. If you kept your head up, that would never happen. Look at me again and I'll say it clearly. 30 rubles a month.
If you say so, madame.
Settled. 30 a month it is. Now, you've been here 2 months exactly.
Oh, 2 months and 5 days.
No. Exactly 2 months. I made a note of it. You should keep books the way I do, so there wouldn't be these discrepancies. So, we have 2 months at 30 rubles a month comes to 60 rubles, correct?
Oh, yes, madame. Thank you, madame.
Subtract 9 Sundays. We did agree to subtract Sundays, didn't we?
No, madame.
Certainly we did. I've always subtracted Sundays. I didn't bother making a note of it because I always do it. Don't you recall when I said, we will subtract Sundays?
No, madame.
Think.
No, madame.
You weren't thinking. Your eyes were wandering. Look straight at my face and look hard. But do you remember now?
Yes, madame.
Good. I was sure you'd remember. Plus 3 holidays, correct?
Oh, 2, madame. Christmas and New Year's.
And your birthday. That's 3.
I worked on my birthday, madame.
You did? There was no need to. My governesses never worked on their birthdays.
But I did work, madame.
But that's not the question, Julia. We're discussing financial matters now. I will, however, only count 2 holidays, if you insist. Do you insist?
I did work, madame.
Then you do insist.
No, madame.
Very well, then. That's 3 holidays. Therefore, we take off 12 rubles. Now then, 4 days little Kolya was sick, and there were no lessons.
I still gave lessons to Vanya.
True. But I engaged you to teach 2 children, not 1. Shall I pay you in full for doing only half the work?
No, madame.
So we'll deduct it. Now, 3 days you had a toothache, and my husband gave you permission not to work after lunch, correct?
After 4. I worked until 4.
I have here, did not work after lunch. finished at 2, not at 4, correct?
Yes, madame, but
That's another 7 rubles. 7 and 12 is 19. Subtract. Well, that leaves 41 rubles. Correct?
Yes, madame. Thank you, madame.
Now, January 4th, you broke a teacup and saucer. Is that true?
Just the saucer, madame.
What good is a teacup without a saucer, huh? That's 2 rubles. The saucer was an heirloom. It cost much more, but let it go. I'm used to taking losses.
Thank you, madame.
Now, January 9th, Collier climbed a tree and tore his jacket.
I forbid him to do so, madame.
But he didn't listen, did he? 10 rubles. January 14th, Vanya's shoes were stolen.
By the maid, madame. You discharged of her yourself.
But you get paid good money to watch everything. I explained that in our first meeting. Perhaps you weren't listening. Were you listening that day, Julia, or was your head in the clouds?
Yes, madame.
Yes, your head was in the clouds.
No, madame. I was listening.
Good girl. So that means another 5 rubles off. Yes, the 16th of January, I gave you 10 rubles.
No, you didn't, madame.
But I made a note of it. Why would I make a note of it if I didn't give it to you?
I don't know, madame.
That's not a satisfactory answer, Julia. Why would I make a note of giving you 10 rubles if I did not, in fact, give it to you, huh? No answer. Then I must have given it to you, mustn't I?
If you say so, madame.
Well, certainly I say so. That's the point of this little talk, to clear these matters up. Take 27 from 41. That leaves 14.
Yes, madame.
What's this? Tears? Has something made you unhappy, Julia? Oh, please tell me. It pains me to see you like this. What is it?
Only once since I've been here have I received any money at all. And it was by your husband. On my birthday, he gave me 3 rubles.
Really? Well, there's no note of it in my books. I'll put it down now. Oh, 3 rubles. Thank you for telling me. Oh, sometimes I'm a little lax with my accounts, always shortchanging myself. So, we take 3 more from 14, leaves 11. Do you wish to check my figures?
There's no need to, madame.
Then we're all set. Here's your salary for 2 months, dear. 11 rubles. Count it.
Oh, it's not necessary, madame.
Come, let's keep the record straight. Count it.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There are only 10 rubles.
Are you sure? Well, possibly you dropped one. Look on the floor. See if there's a coin there.
I didn't drop any, madame. I'm quite sure of it.
Well, it's not here on my desk, and I know I gave you 11 rubles. Look on the floor.
No, 10 rubles will be fine.
Well, keep the 10 for now, and if we don't find it again on the floor, we'll discuss it again next month.
Yes, madame. Thank you, madame. You're so very kind, madame.
Julia, come back here. I've cheated you, robbed you. I have no such notes in my book. I made up whatever came into my mind. Instead of the 80 rubles which I owe you, I gave you only 10. I've actually stolen from you.
Oh,
And still you thank me. Why?
well, in the other places I worked, they didn't give me anything at all.
Then they cheated you even worse than I did. I was just playing a little joke on you. A cruel lesson just to teach you. You're much too trusting, and in this world that's very dangerous. I'm going to give you the entire 80 rubles. The rest is in this envelope. Here, take it.
As you wish, madame.
Julia! Is it possible to be so spineless? Well, why don't you speak up? Why don't you protest? Why don't you cry out against this cruel and unjust treatment? Is it really possible to be so guileless, so innocent, such a, well, pardon me for being so blunt, such a simpleton?